Welcome. We're going to talk about your database. And for any of you that have been in class with me for pre license, this can be no surprise that we're going to talk about your database because in pre license, we probably talked about your database every single day, if not multiple times a day. This is the number one piece to your business that is absolutely foundational. And you would be shocked the number of agents that don't create one. I know agents that have been licensed since the early 80s and do not have a written database down. They're just in survival mode of trying to track down emails by pressing A and hopefully Amy Schaefer's name pops up. So, this is not only a good organizational system, but this is the people that you're going to market your business to. These are the folks that know you, love you, trust you, and they're most likely, like I said, to do business with you. So, what is a database? A database is I would say, an Excel spreadsheet. You might, obviously, a lot of you probably do Google Docs, whatever that looks like. It's not on your cell phone. Your cell phone doesn't hold all the data that we want to collect. And your cell phone, there's not a way for it to do uh, mailing labels. And some of those may be things you'll want to utilize. But a database, again, a list of everyone that you know, it's their name, home address, phone number, email, and then any of their significant others' information, such as a spouse. Then from that, you can start adding on a lot of other details, kids' names, pets' names, um, birthdays, anniversaries, home anniversaries. The list could go on and on and on. And you can't reach out and wish their dog happy National Dog Day on August 26th if you don't have a database and starting to track those things. And we've got to have this so that you can keep in touch with folks. So the number one thing you've got to do is build this list. Now, some of you have heard me say this before. I used to be on a team where I ran a buyer side of the business. And whenever I would interview and hire new agents, the number one thing we would say is, before you start, whatever, Monday at 9 a.m., how many people do you think you could have on a database? And I didn't care how much or how many they had on it, 100, 200, 500. I let them say the name or pick the number. Then when they would come in Monday at 9 a.m. and they'd show up without anything, we'd have to send them home because we don't have anyone for them to call, email, text, snail mail, send a bird to announce that they're newly licensed in the business because they don't have this list. I would say 9 out of 10 wouldn't create it. We'd have to send them home. And then I would say maybe only one would come back a few days later. The rest would just drift off into the night. We'd never hear from them. That's not a very good statistic, is it? Because if you were getting a regular job and they required you to bring documentation with you the first day of the job, or a passing drug test, whatever it might be, what would you show up with? Of course, you would show up with those things that they requested. And to me, this database is the thing that you need to have rolling right away. So you're a rookie, you're new, or within a year in the business, probably, if you're taking this course. And if you've not started already, I'm not here to give you a guilt trip. You're an adult, this is your business. But there is no better time to start this if you haven't already than now. So create that contact list and then really dive into who goes on that list. Start with the people that are Captain Obvious, your besties, the people that you see all the time, the people in your inner circle. Maybe some of you recently had a wedding or a baby shower that you already created a list for invitations. Pull that in. Then I would go to social media, start looking through your friends lists, and see if there's anyone to jog your mind to add. And then I would go through all the vendors that you use. Um, who's your accountant? Who cuts your hair? Who cleans your teeth? Who cuts your dog's hair? Who cracks your back? Go through all those businesses that you do on a regular basis. You know these folks. You obviously trust them because you do business with them, and add them to your database as well. It's really common that a lot of small businesses look to other small businesses like you as a real estate agent to refer business back and forth. That can be really strong. The other thing I want you to think about here is longevity. So, Gary Keller in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, which by the way is a book I recommend any real estate agent read, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, written by Gary Keller. I call it the MREA, or the Red Book. He's got a statistic in there, and he's done all this research with millionaire real estate agents. That means they net $1 million a year in commissions. Okay. So, all of this data that he collected in writing that book with these millionaire agents showed that for every 100 people in your database that you are marketing yourself to multiple times a year for a few years, they're going to become top of mind, that when they think of real estate, they think of you. And if you do that soon, then if you launch your business with that, in about 3 to 5 years, you should be seeing a strong rate of return. So for every 100 people in your database, you should get about 10 to 15 deals out of that 100 people. One of them is going to do business with you directly. One of them is going to give you a referral. But the longer you put off doing the database, the longer you put off the start button of them getting that regular content from you. So, again, when they think of real estate, I want them to think of you, right? That's my goal for you. So, think longevity, because a lot of your marketing plan is going to be built around this database, and your clients are going to get, so they know you host a trunk or treat every October. You send out a lottery card every March for a St. Patty's Day Luck of the Irish themed marketing piece. You drop off a May basket, May 1st, whatever your marketing plan is. If you've got that list and we work with it regularly, you're going to become really top of mind. But it's not an Instapot business, is it? It's a crock pot. And we've got to do these things to simmer so that people remember you in this business. The other really big thing about it is continually add contacts to it, continually grow it, and maintain it. So some of you maybe know 5 people, some of you maybe know 500. You know a lot of people, and it's overwhelming to put all 500 of those in at once. Wherever you're at with this size of your database, have a system to it. Make an appointment with yourself on a calendar and set a goal to add 5 people, or maybe it's 20 people every week. Get that in a system where you're constantly working in your database, growing it and adding people to it and updating it when people move. That will help you a ton. So create the list, do it for longevity in the business, continually add people. That will help you grow your business, right? And now you've got to communicate with it regularly. I'm going to go back to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book by Gary Keller, that says that really a great marketing plan for you includes anywhere between 30 to 35 interactions with your database every year. 35, what are we going to do? Well, 12 of those could be a direct mail, 12 of those could be an email. So that, for example, would be 24 out of the 30 to 35. The other ones could be client parties, texts, private messages, um, phone calls, of course. It could be dropping off something of value, maybe around the holidays. I know a lot of you know that I still do a tacky uh, calendar every year for Christmas that I deliver to my clients. And even though I kind of want to stop doing that, because I don't know how many people use a calendar on their refrigerator anymore, I still do it because I've done it for so years. It's a habit. People expect it out of me now. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to point out for you is CRM benefits. A CRM is that contact resource management system. Your brokerage very well has one that they provided to you that is part of what you've invested in to work with that brokerage. It's part of maybe a monthly fee that you pay to your brokerage, something like that. Utilize it. If it's there, utilize it. If you don't like the program, go find another one that speaks your love language and invest some money in it. But if I would say, if you're worried about dollars, use what is free. But these CRMs have so many great benefits because once you put your contacts in there and you continually communicate with it and add to it and manage it, then you can start putting things in there like maybe you met a buyer at a cocktail party that said, my wife and I are thinking about moving in 3 months. You can go and set a reminder to follow up with them. You can go in and set a reminder to contact someone about their birthday, home anniversary, filing for that homestead credit exemption, whatever it might be. You can set all these reminders for you. And that way you're not working off a bunch of scratch paper that you very well could forget. So I hope this was a really good review for your database. Again, if there's one thing that you do out of this course, I think it is build it and grow it. Too many agents get into the business, they get a couple things going, they get a couple deals closed, and they think, oh, I'm good. And then they wake up their second or maybe third year in the business and things have dried up. And I'm going to tell you, those agents have probably been running their business off of luck, so to speak. And that's great. But luck is not going to keep you in real estate for a lifetime. It's maybe going to keep you in the business 18 months, maybe 24 months max. And after that, I worry that your luck is going to run out. A database is a platform to your business to communicate and market yourself, again, so that when people think of real estate, they think of you. Up next, we're going to talk about your pipeline in part 2.